Hi, welcome to Garage Geek. I want to apologize to MGK Boston. He's been putting out threads, and I love to respond to threads. I don't know why. I just got so behind. He had a spring and sun thread, and as I was just going through my albums, I found so many songs with spring and sun in them. MGK Boston, I hope that you'll do that one again next year, because I totally have so many to do. He had one with a run in it. That one's proving more difficult for me. He does have one where you have to spell out summer. But I want to talk about his video for a little bit because it was so funny. He's at the beach and he starts pulling out CDs like from somewhere. The theme of this video is you have to spell out the word summer. So I'm gonna flip this a little bit. Summer to me means no school, first of all, and road trips. I've gone cross country on road trips at least twice, maybe I think 3 times. Once I took my daughter, so 3 times. And so for me, summertime means those road trips and also means national parks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spell out summer with some magnets that I've bought, because every time I go to a national park or a national park site or someplace, I try to buy a magnet for it. So the first one I'm going to show is Steamtown National Historic Site, which is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm reading it. It's in the back of this. The purpose: it was established in 1986 to further public understanding of the role steam railroading played in the historical, cultural, and industrial development of the United States. U was a little bit hard, so I kind of cheated. I love Utah. There you go. I do love Utah. M. This is one I went to on this trip, and that is Morristown National Historical Park. Now, on the same trip, I went to Valley Forge, and the park guide at this National Historic Site said that what happened at Morristown was like 50 times worse than what happened at Valley Forge. It was really interesting, and in fact, I need to read a little bit more history about what happened there during the Revolutionary War. Another M, this one is a no-brainer. Here we go with Mount Rushmore. Has to be one of the most beautiful things I've seen. I mean, besides the Grand Canyon, I mean, those carvings on the mountain, along with Crazy Horse. I just thought they were beautiful, fascinating. You can see them from so many different angles. You can see them. You can go all around the city and the environs, and you can see this. For example, I went to a cemetery, and you can see this in the background in the cemetery. Like, there's so many places that you can go and see this as a backdrop. It was just wonderful. E for effigy mounds. I have to hold them at an angle so that there's no glare. Like there. Look, you can see me. So if I don't hold it at an angle, you can't. Oh, there you go. So there you go. Effigy Mounds National Monument. This was it says 5 points provide a spectacular view of the Mississippi River. American Indians built thousands of effigy mounds in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, and Iowa between AD 600 and 1300. So I remember going to this place, and it was a little bit later in the day. It wasn't night, but it was coming up on night. And I remember there were so many insects, right, of the biting kind. But wow, it was so beautiful. They basically have a path, and a lot of people go there just to kind of like walk, just like not hike really, but walk. Do the walk through the mounds. It was very serene, very peaceful. The only problem I say is at that time of the night when I went, there were a lot of mosquitoes and things that bite. But I thoroughly enjoyed going there. And then finally, Redwood National Park. Redwoods. So I went there, and I was meeting friends for camping, and it was pouring rain. So all my friends didn't go to the campsite. They went to a hotel, and they invited me, of course. I was like, no, I'm here for camping. Rain is part of the camping experience. Even they had given me, my friend gave me a tent, a single person tent, and I'd never put it up before. And so when I got there, I got lost. I went to the wrong place. My GPS took me to the wrong place, so I had to backtrack. So it took me to the park, but it didn't take me to the campsite, which our campsite was actually in a state park outside of Redwoods. Now, Redwoods is actually a really long, narrow park. I drove like way up into the park, and then I realized, and it was already late when I was there. And so as I was driving up, the sun was starting to go down, and I was like, crap. And it was raining. So I had to drive all the way back. And by the time I got to my campsite, it was dark. And I had to put up this tent in the dark in the pouring rain. It was bad. But you know what? I did it by tent. in the bottom, it was like soaked with water, like this deep in places. But I had so many covers, I was warm. It wasn't a problem. But the best thing was the next morning I woke up super early, right? Because I was all wet. I got up and I just saw the most beautiful sunrise over the ocean. Oh man, I'll never forget that. Because there were all these rock formations out in the water. I had to walk kind of like a little cliff. And man, it was gorgeous. It was worth every second. And those people in the hotel, they missed out. Or did they? So, oh my gosh, I went on and on about that. So that was the first part. But I also went ahead and found a couple of albums. I did 5. The word summer in the titles. We're going to start with this gorgeous, look at this, Hi-Fi with Peter Slack at the organ console. It's a little bit dirty on the back, but it says Peter Slack at the Great Wurlitzer Pipe Organ. This one right here, you're going to see it says A Long Hot Summer. I have a special place in my heart for the Wurlitzer organ because when I was in the military, I was stationed near San Francisco. And of course, I was going into the city, naturally head to Castro. Castro had this beautiful movie theater where they played double features. And the whole time I was in San Francisco, I would also often go to the Castro Theater with friends or by myself just to see the double features. Many times, mostly I think, I don't know if they did it daily. When they did it on the weekends before the movies would start or maybe in the middle, they would have an organ rise up from underneath the floor. And as it was rising, there would be a person flamboyantly dressed, kind of like Liberace, and he would be pounding on that organ playing with the spotlights on him. It was awesome. And you know, that's a holdout from when theaters did silent movies. And so there's so much history that goes into that. And for the Castro Theater to still have somebody coming in to play the organ before movies, that's just amazing. Now, I haven't been back to San Francisco in so long. I don't know if they still do that. It would be a shame if they don't. I would actually like to see that again. So yes, I do have a soft spot in my heart for the Wurlitzer organ. Next, we're going to look at Barbra Streisand. Barbra Jones Streisand is the album title. This one does have a little bit of ringwear, as you can see. But the song title is The Summer Knows. If you've learned your lesson well. And it's right after Mother by John Lennon. Now, sorry, Barbara. I love you to death. But no one is ever going to do Mother better than John Lennon. The feeling that he puts into that song. You got the voice, but no one's ever going to do that better than John Lennon. And to be honest, I don't even think you should have tried. But I love Barbra Streisand. Next, I have this Sinatra trilogy. So it's a 3-album set. On the second album, side 4, it's Summer Me. Can you see that? Summer Me, Winter Me.
Found each other, there we were.
Number 4 is an album I just recently showed, so it was already out, and I happened to look, and this Johnny Mathis album has Summer Breeze. Makes me feel fine. Blowing through the jasmine of my mind. Or is it in my mind? That person has jasmine in their mind.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine.
And the last one I'm going to show is, look at this awesome cover. The Best of Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross. I actually don't like this album too much, but I absolutely love the cover. The song here is Summertime, which, you know, how could you not? That's the most famous probably in this group. And that is from Porgy and Bess.
Daddy's rich and your mama looks good.
So once again, I want to apologize. MGK Boston, I am so sorry that I haven't been doing your threads. That is a gross oversight on my part. I will rectify that in the future. You have a great channel. So again, thank you for the support.